I think you are first, X. Blue Raid. Say present if you're ready for class. That's okay. Yeah, make sure we start doing the good things, please. Let's boop that screen out. And we'll get started here in just a minute. Hub hub. That's crazy. It's still midterm Monday. I'm just keeping this background. Good morning. Good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me make sure I unmute that so that works later when I want it to. Okay. Yeah, it's still midterm Monday. I just didn't change the background because we know it's not going to stay that background for very long today with them. So welcome in. If you're over here on TikTok, please make sure we're doing all of the good things. Tap that screen, share the live out. Remember, you can share it, you can repost it, you can add it to your story, send it to like 5 of your friends. Do your daily heart me if you have not done so. Let's get those roses accomplished in the corner. We also have a reset, refreshed gift gallery. So if you click on my profile picture and do the C5 gift gallery and accomplish some of those, we can try and light it up this week. That would be wonderful. I would appreciate it. Guys, don't forget I am multi-streaming, so I am over on YouTube and Twitch. If you're over on YouTube, hit the thumbs up like button for me. I would appreciate that. Helps push us out onto that algorithm. And you can also become a member over there, send super chats, things like that. Over on Twitch, you can follow me, you can subscribe. There are stickers, you can send bits. Bunch of fun stuff over there as well. As you can see, I have 99 in my goal, and that was thanks to over in Olives. We have Block Daddy send a dollar train, choo choo. So thank you, Block Daddy, for the dollar to kick us off today. So I have 99 left in my goal. Remember, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I pay my bills. And right now, it's really how I pay my bills until the bank figures out my husband's check. So if we could help accomplish that, I would appreciate it very, very much. The pay links are in the link tree in my bio. I have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Thank you if we can get that started today. So how is everybody doing? Yeah, it's rainy here too. It's rainy and it's chilly. Kind of Don't like it much, but we're here. We're here and we're doing the things. Okay. So let's start out with our midterm Monday like we normally do, is what we're going to do. Let me bring that up. So let's go to our calendar. There's really not that much on here. So today is the 27th. It's my husband's, it's the cuck's birthday. So guys, everybody wish the old man a happy birthday as well. Thank you, Robbie. But today's the 27th. Tomorrow is the 28th. So there are elections tomorrow. So in California for an Avenal, and again, if I mispronounce these, I apologize, but Avenal City Council recall election. Remember, these are going to be your important elections. I know that we always talk about the midterms are hugely important this year. I'm not going to say that they're not, but we have to pay attention to our local elections. These people directly affect you, your city council, your school board, your water board, your energy board. Very, very important things. So Avenal City Council recall election tomorrow. Delaware local elections tomorrow. Florida has local elections tomorrow. Iowa has local elections tomorrow. If you are in New York City Council District 3, you have a special general election for New York City Council District 3 tomorrow. And then South Carolina, you have South Carolina local elections. I saw somebody said that they already voted early. Sam, great job for voting in South Carolina for your local election. So that's what you got going on. Again, Ballotpedia election calendar will keep you up to date on everything that's going on. Okay? Got to make sure that we do that. I don't know why the date. That's the next one because June is going to be the primaries, so I don't know why it's not. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So just remember to pay attention to your local elections. It's always super important. Oh, here's the cuck. Happy birthday.
Hi.
Hi.
Ari muting me on my birthday is diabolical.
You'd still probably
I
deserve
feel like
it.
the only one allowed to mute me is Sparky.
Sparky's not even a mod in here.
He has other means.
Well, this is true. I was told
to. No forgiveness, Ari.
Oh, man.
All right, I'm gonna go make my cake now.
Yeah, you have to go make your cake with the kids. You go do that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Sam, I would agree. The midterm, to me, would probably be more important than the presidential vote. Like the president is meant to be a figurehead. They're not really meant to have a lot of power, right? That's the whole thing with the co-equal branches is that the legislative branch is supposed to have a majority of the power. Why do I hate you so? I'm only trying to bring some healthy, respectful dissent because Tasty Cake, you are very disingenuous. You're very disingenuous and you know that. You are bad faith as fuck and you know that. I went over the 14 pages of the Southern Poverty Law Center. I said that I want it to go to trial. I don't see where they're getting the charges they think they have. And the problem is you're basing it as if it's fact already without actually going to trial. And that's a problem. But it doesn't matter for you, Tasty Cake, because Blue paid for you to be gone for a week. So, you're muted for a week. I wrote it down. I did make a sheet, like I said I was going to. So, and yeah, I don't count the weekends in the week because I don't work. So, okay. But if you do want to mute somebody for the day, the week, the month, we have a lovely new generic message that Eli did. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Eli. And guys, W to Eli for just doing this on his own and willing to. I appreciate it. I do get tortured for it with my own sound clips of myself, which is great too. So I guess that's the payment.
Do you want someone muted in the chat? Is there someone who's spamming, making disingenuous arguments, displaying bot behavior, or maybe they're just a dumb bitch? Well, you can keep them muted and contribute to their degradation kink. But remember, while we don't kink shame, it is perfectly acceptable to kink ask why. You can keep them muted for as little as $2 a day, $7 a week, or $25 a month. Pay links in the bio.
All right, so. Oh, real quick, Kayla, I got this. It's delicious. I love it, actually. I don't think I can drink a whole one, though. I'll probably drink like a fourth of it, and it's going to have to go back in the fridge. But it's really, really good. Okay. What was that? What? How did I spill it? What the fuck? How did I do that? Okay. So let's talk about the thing that everybody's going to talk about. We will get back to regular programming because guess what? The war in Iran is still going on. We can talk about Jerome Powell stuff. There's still things we need to talk about. This is not going to cover everything, but we will cover it today. Okay. So, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, there was an alleged shooter who they apprehended. We have his manifesto, things that he wrote in it. We will go over some of that. However, if you were in Olives this morning and with Sunkiss, I said this the other day too. I'm not calling it an attempt. For me, you have to be directly shot at, or at least in the goddamn room, for it to be an attempt. It wasn't. So, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about the presser, the real reason. It is interesting that you host a press conference with prepared remarks. Granted, speechwriters are fast, so I'm not going to say that, but speechwriters are fast. But within 60 minutes, this motherfucker is late to every press conference that he has scheduled for days out. He's still late to them, but he can show up to this one. And I think the problem is that the whole reason that he brings up this press conference is very, very specifically for one reason and one reason only.
And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding.
We need the ballroom. Oh, we need the ballroom. Here's my thing, and I'll say this. You're telling me that the Secret Service and the FBI, your agents are so incompetent that they could not secure a hotel? I thought this was the greatest administration. I thought this was the safest city. Depressed Adam Sandler. Are you talking about Mark Wayne, baby back bitch McMullins? He is in charge of DHS now, which means he's also in charge of Secret Service. So there is that. Sparky, I've got you. So we can mute Cuck. So thank you, Sparky, for the $27 on PayPal, $20 for muting the Cuck. Happy birthday, mute, Cuck. And $7 for another week of Tasty Cake mute. You got it. That one. Let's see, gets another week for Tasty Cake. Aw, poor thing. They always come back, though, don't they? They always come back. Let me do math now. And then we'll get back to this video. Again, the point is that they're bringing up the ballroom. Immediately. Immediately bringing up the ballroom. And they're not done bringing up the ballroom. I'll talk about the letter in a minute, too. It's 72. Chris, don't try to do that to me. It's not...
They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. And
why couldn't you secure the hotel? You couldn't do that? My tinfoil hat is that he is building a bunker so he doesn't have to leave. If you've never seen the film Civil War on Max, you probably should watch it. But here is this is an article about it specifically, but then I will bring up the letter. So DOJ pressures group to drop lawsuit against Trump's ballroom after gala shooting. Trump officials use incident at Correspondents' Dinner to pitch the case for the $400 million project, arguing it will be a safe space. Okay, and you can read all about that. I don't know why it's Department of J Justice. They messed up on that. So we'll go directly to the letter because that's going to be easier because Todd Blanche posted it. Okay? So this is to the group that is suing them, right? So, regarding National Trust for Historic Preservation v. National Park Service, dear Mr. Craig, last night there was another attempt on President Trump's life. I'm not calling that. He wasn't even in the room. This time the shooter targeted President Trump at the Washington Hilton, the only ballroom in Washington, D.C. suitable to host large gatherings for the president, where they've hosted them for years and not have any issues. Where another shooter targeted President Reagan 45 years ago. Yeah, outside. Outside. As history proves, that venue is demonstrably unsafe for the President of the United States because its size presents extraordinary security challenges for the Secret Service. Yesterday's assassination attempt on President Trump proves yet again that the White House ballroom is essential for the safety and security of the President, his family, his cabinet, and his staff. When the White House ballroom is complete, President Trump and his successors will no longer need to venture beyond the safety of the White House perimeter to attend large gatherings at the Washington Hilton Ballroom. The White House ballroom will ensure the safety and security of the President for decades to come and prevent future assassinations attempt on the President at the Washington Hilton. Put simply, your lawsuit puts the lives of the President, his family, and his staff at grave risk. I hope yesterday's narrow miss will help you finally realize the folly of a lawsuit that literally serves no purpose except to stop President Trump no matter the cost. Enough is enough. Your client should voluntarily dismiss this frivolous lawsuit today in light of last night's assassination attempt on President Trump. If your client does not dismiss the lawsuit by 9 a.m. on Monday, the government will move to dissolve the injunction and dismiss the case in light of last night's extraordinary events. We will state your position as opposed if we do not hear back from you by 9 a.m. on Monday. I'm available today if you would like to discuss ending this unnecessary and dangerous litigation. Sincerely yours, Brett A. Schumont, Assistant Attorney General in the Civil Division. Now, here's the thing. We have gone over, as a group, we have gone over the stuff in regards to the ballroom. Do we remember specifically what the judge said, though? Did the judge say they could not continue building? What did the judge say? Anybody? Bueller? What did the judge say? Because it was very specific. He has to pay. Nope. There you go, Peabody. Peabody is... No, Ricky, no. You're wrong. Peabody is correct. The judge said that what needs to be litigated and what stops is the ornate building, anything above the ground, right? The judge said that you are allowed to build anything below ground that is for national security. So it sounds like the bunker that you want to build can continue to be built. You just couldn't build anything that was decorative or ornate without going through the Preservation Society. So why are they lying to you again? And even so, this ballroom will not be built, even Donald Trump's own words, wouldn't be done until about 2028. So it's not going to matter to him anyway. But the bunker part was allowed to continue to be built. But they need a pretty ballroom on top of their bunker war room, right? So... let's be honest about what was said. Okay. Let's do... I want to point this one out. Does this look like a group that just went through a traumatic event? I love fucking Hegseth's face specifically. Does that look... I agree. If you've ever watched Civil War... Does that look like people who are... Caroline Leavitt's pregnant. What the fuck are you smiling about, bitch? Speaking of Leavitt, I don't know that this has anything to do with anything. I think it was a use of words as somebody who loves the English language, loves writing. I think that she was using this in the terminology of, like, the speeches. I do think she was talking about the speeches. However, yeah, people are like, this is weird. Sure.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I know everybody's using that as like, oh, see. But like, I honestly think that's just like rhetoric for like, ha ha ha, the speech is going to come out. His laugh was kind of cringe. So again, my biggest thing is I want to base this in reality. I've been really frustrated this weekend. I know we hate these people. They're awful fucking people. I get that. But I want us to base this in reality. There are always roasts at dinner, exactly. Everybody in multiple discords has been sharing pictures of Stephen Miller behind his pregnant wife and saying he was using her as a shield. That's not true. Can we stop? We have to be honest. He's a cretin, but when they were hiding at the table with Secret Service, he was hiding over her. And then when the picture is from a further clip you are seeing, okay? Behind in the lobby is where the shooter was being taken down. There was Secret Service behind Stephen Miller, and then his wife was in front of him because they were walking that way. So actually his wife was in front of him. So we need to ground this into reality. Okay, I get it. We don't like them. But let's critique what we can critique, which is him talking about the fucking ballroom because of this. That shit I will absolutely wear tinfoil hat with you. Absolutely will. But we have to be honest. Yes, the bar is low, Jamie. I get that. But we have to be honest. Or else we lose the credibility too. That's how they lose credibility, because they go off on shit that is objectively not true. It is objectively not true that Stephen Miller was using his wife as a shield. He was leading her out. However, RFK Jr. absolutely left his wife. You can see it in the video. RFK Jr. is surrounded by Secret Service, getting escorted off. Cheryl Hines is running behind him without any Secret Service. He absolutely left her. Beef Biscuit, I don't know why you're coming after me when I'm actually defending Stephen Miller in this scenario, and I hate that Nazi. Like, I'm asking my side to be honest, and you're coming after me. So, I need us to be honest about the things that happened. So what we're going to get into now is, well, let me play this. I'm sure we've all seen it. Trump immediately truthed the video, the surveillance video from the hotel, like immediately. Yes, she does throw her hand up. Like, what the fuck? It's grainy. It's not great video. You can see him come around the corner. There he is. He's coming. And he comes through. Now, my take on all of this right now is going to be that this was not secured, meaning that it was incompetency by the administration. The administration was incompetent and not prepared for this event. They should have been better prepared. I don't know that they swept the hotel beforehand. I don't know if they should have swept it after. I've said my biggest thing too is that they still served dinner. Look, my dad worked with K-9s in the Air Force. You would evacuate that as safely and quickly as possible, and then you would sweep. How did he even get in? He checked into the hotel on Friday. He checked into the hotel. Nobody's acting like Nazis. Have you listened to Stephen Miller talk about brown people? I think you should. Okay, but let's go to Todd Blanche. Guys, it is 10:24 and we have 28,000 likes. So you guys are doing it on the likes, so I appreciate that. Let's make sure we are still going so that we can get to 50,000 likes before the top of the hour. I would appreciate that so very much. And make sure if you haven't shared it, do all of the good things. Guys, I have 72 in my goal. Let's see if we can get that down today as we keep going. So Todd Blanche was asked specifically about the shooter from California. So the shooter is from California and how he was able to travel from California to DC. Did he travel with the firearms? Did he buy firearms once he was here? Like, which one was it? Thank you, Queen. And we're not getting answers. And again, this is the problem with this whole most transparent administration in history. We're not getting answers.
So the alleged shooter, as we just said, had multiple weapons in his possession. Here in the District of Columbia, open carry is not permitted. You just said he traveled from California across the country by train. At this point, are you thinking at the federal level of changing security protocols in any way to, for example, match on trains what you are expected to go through when you fly, where you do have to declare a weapon when you cross state lines? How did he travel by train without any challenge and arrive here in the nation's capital?
And look, this isn't about, in my mind, changing the law or making the laws more restrictive around possession of firearms.
Why not? Because that was my next thing. Are you guys finally with us? that maybe you should have harsher restrictions on being able to get a hold of a weapon? We know you don't give a fuck about kids dying. We know that. We know you absolutely don't fucking care. You know how I know? Because all the Republicans in Congress were wearing AR-15 fucking pins directly after a mass school shooting. So we know you don't give a fuck about kids. But maybe you'd give a fuck about your fat orange fucking president. But I guess not. We're just gonna cry.
Well, they didn't do that after Butler. They didn't do that after Kirk.
No, they don't care. You just want to complain about the leftists.
Yep, because them big old mean leftists are gonna get me.
I am angry. I am angry that I send my kids to school every day, and I am terrified about the idea of them coming home. But Republicans refuse to do anything about it. Nothing. Even when guns are pointed in their own face. Yeah, that's frustrating. It's frustrating. You guys are gonna sit here for the next week, and you're gonna cry about Donald Trump. And somebody tried to kill him again. You guys don't give a fuck about the kids. Because we host lives the day after every mass shooting at a school, and you guys come on and you argue against it. So no, I don't want to hear you cry about the fat orange turd. I don't care.
I mean, Donald Trump said to get over it, so why don't you guys get over it?
So why don't you guys get over it? We're just covering it because it's news. And then we're going to move on.
I mean, it's the same old, right? That's what Trump said, or something along those lines, right? It's a part of life, as JD Vance likes to say.
I'm not hard eyes anymore. I'm puke emoji now because I have kids. Okay.
That's crazy.
Didn't want your attention anyway, bitch.
It appears he purchased these firearms the past couple years. We don't know how those firearms ended up in his possession in D.C. We can make some assumptions based upon what I just said about how he got to D.C. But I don't think the narrative here is about changing laws or making our laws more restrictive. This is about law enforcement who are doing their jobs and a suspect who tried to do something and failed miserably.
Law enforcement does not prevent. Law enforcement is reactive, which is great. I'm glad you can have law enforcement to do the job, but they do the job after the thing happens. We are talking about preventing so that this does not happen or happens with less frequency. Exactly, Purple Sky. How did he even get in there to begin with guns? It's something that is going to be asked of him by George Stephanopoulos in a minute, but we're going to let him finish this clip. They don't have these answers because they don't care. They're not actually trying to change anything to make the country better.
Well, I'm not talking about changing the law in terms of possession of a firearm. I'm asking about crossing state lines with that firearm and arriving the Capitol. If you try to fly, you do have to have your firearms declared in some way. You don't when you get on a train.
Well, look, you are talking about, I mean, if we're asking the question, that's talking about changing the laws, and I don't think that's something that we should be focused on right now in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, not a loophole.
There are lots of ways that, yeah, so I mean, look, we also don't know, we don't have all the answers this morning. We're still looking into what happened, how he got the guns, if he got them legally, but what we do know is that he tried to use them. He did have 2 firearms and some knives on his person when he tried to use them, and he was stopped before he got anywhere near the president, before he got near any of us that were in the room at the time of that this occurred, and that's again, we can't overlook, and I'm not suggesting you are, but we can't overlook the great work of the Secret Service last night.
No, absolutely. We're all thankful.
Sure. Everybody's thankful nobody died. Some of us. Lee, why are you freaking out about abortion over there? We're not even talking about that. Why are you freaking out about abortion?
Just don't get one, dude.
Yeah, just don't have one. So then Blanche was asked, that's what I told you about, by George Stephanopoulos about how he was able to get guns in the hotel. Now, to be fair, I try to be. It is very soon. An investigation is ongoing. It's not something that they are necessarily going to have answers for, and even if they do have answers for, that they're not going to be willing to relay those answers. So, that is fair. So he does not give us an answer. I will prepare you for that. He doesn't give us an answer. But just the reason I'm playing it is I want it to be stuck in your mind, to remember to ask these questions a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. Because these are answers we never got about Butler. And I highly doubt we're going to get the answers for this. They're going to use it to try to pump himself up in the polls. It doesn't seem to be working. And then they'll forget all about it. So again, it's just to remind you to remember to ask these questions when it makes more sense to ask these questions, not when George Stephanopoulos does, but a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now.
How was he able to get the guns into the hotel?
It's a good question. I mean, listen, I'm not sure. It appears that he checked in on the 24th to the hotel, and we're still looking at video surveillance and footage of where he walked and how he got in and how those firearms got in. But at the end of the day, I expect we'll have a lot more about that in the coming days.
Right. And so then I hope they continue to keep asking you. That is my thing. Pedro, you said when someone wants to do something, they're going to do it anyway, even if it's illegal. Here's the thing. Sure, let's make it harder. Why don't we put more obstacles in their way?
But even then, based on statistics, when it comes to these types of events, typically the firearm that is used is legally purchased.
Right.
So you guys bitching and moaning about how it's an illegal gun. That's not always the case.
But that's the thing. I want to get to a point where it is. I want it to be so difficult for you to obtain one. You have to be so responsible to obtain one that you have to have an illegal one to be able to do stupid shit like this. Dummy?
No, agree with you. Agree with you, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, also, I would definitely like more information about how he was taken down, because supposedly there were shots, but the shots weren't from him. The shots were from the Secret Service, but I didn't see any injuries on him. It didn't say that he was taken to a hospital. I don't know. This is, again, all stuff that we definitely would like to have. For sure. Like information that we should have. I'm not normalizing anything. It's not an attempt. He wasn't in the room. I'm not normalizing anything. Maybe if your president wasn't such a shitbag, people wouldn't be trying to kill him. But Blanche says here, it is funny because they're talking about this ballroom. They need this ballroom. They need this ballroom. Pretty much a bunker. But then Todd Blanche talks about like not hiding in a bunker.
On the one hand, we take those threats very seriously, always have, and we always will. On the other hand, we do not, the way we respond to those threats is not to go into a bunker and hide. Mm-hmm. It's to trust the law enforcement that are keeping.
Oh! So then do we need a ballroom to hide into? Hi, friend. How are you?
Oh, good. Got a rain day so I can hear you live. But I think that officer was hit with a friendly fire incident as far as I know.
Huh. Yeah, I want more information to come out for sure. And I know they have to investigate, so it's going to take time. I just want to make sure we get that information.
Yeah, but I watch this channel called Speak the Truth. It's a Green Beret guy who like delves into this stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was reporting it was a friendly fire incident.
Huh.
So I don't know. But the truth will come out eventually, but we'll see what happens.
We will. Well, thank you for calling in.
Have a good day, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye. Guys, so that's just, that's a friend of mine in Minnesota, but that just proves to you again that the phone line is working. I don't answer unknown calls. Those are automatically denied because you guys like to slur. So if you're going to call and have a conversation, you need to do it with your own number. I mean, Peabody, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I want information. My concern is that this is going to be like Butler, and we are just never going to hear about it again. That is my concern. I would hope it would be more like the guy from Florida who tried to take Trump's life when Trump wasn't even there. Wait, was he? Was he on the golf course?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't, right?
No, he was in D.C. at that time.
Okay, yeah. And he just got life in prison. And I said this, as he should. The man was unwell. The man owned like a bazooka, a machine gun. Like, it was not okay. But again, we need the information. So I don't want this to get under the wayside, get swept under the rug, that we don't get information. That's my biggest thing.
Keeping us safe, and that's what happened last night, and that's what I think we will continue to see going forward.
I hope so. That's what I want, Todd Blanche, is I want the information. I don't trust you to give us that information because where are the rest of those Epstein files, Todd Blanche? which, by the way, Congress has recently been talking about bringing him in to talk about it. So, let's go to... I have clips from the 60-minute interview. We're not watching the whole thing, but I have clips from it. We're going to start with him being asked about conspiracy, because people are already, like, saying conspiracy. So this is his response to that.
I hesitate to ask you about this, but as you know, these conspiracy theories out there on the left and the right, that the event was staged or that it didn't happen.
Last night didn't happen?
That it was because it was your first time there, or that Butler didn't happen. These conspiracy theories that are gaining traction on the internet.
And October 7th didn't happen, and
Who said that? Who has ever said October 7th didn't happen? Nobody fucking said that.
World War II didn't happen, and the Holocaust didn't happen.
Yeah, those are your people, by the way. The people who support you are the ones who say the Holocaust didn't happen. Those are your people. Just so you know.
And many things didn't happen. Yeah, no, I hear it. I don't know. I think they're more sick than they are con people, but there's a lot of con in it, too. I haven't heard that last night didn't happen. Usually it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Usually they wait about 2 or 3 months to start saying that.
No, because it doesn't make any sense. You haven't gone to a White House Correspondents' Dinner in years. But this is the one. This is the one. Sure. So then she's going to ask him, this is O'Donnell, she's going to ask him specifically about what he can do as the president. What can he do about political violence? So he has a lot of power. He is the president. So what can he do about it?
Also at the dinner last night was your secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yeah. His sister, Carrie Kennedy, was there. They've both witnessed their father and their uncle be assassinated.
That's right.
Erica Kirk was there. The House Majority.
Just a reminder, Erica Kirk was not there when her husband was assassinated. She was not there.
Neither was his children.
Just a reminder.
Majority Leader Steve Scalise was there.
Yeah.
Political violence has touched so many people in that room. Is there something that you as president can do? What can be done to change the trajectory?
Well, you go back 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, 200 years, 500 years. It's always been there. People are assassinated, people are injured, people are hurt, and I'm not sure that there's any more now than there was. I do think that the hate speech of the Democrats, much more so, is very dangerous. I really think it's very dangerous for the country.
Let's get into that. We'll get into that hate speech. What hate speech? Could it be this hate speech by chance? A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Oh, not like that. Not like that hate speech. Sorry. That's not what you guys wanted. We're talking about the left. Oh, wait. Let's do, maybe it was this hate speech. Maybe it was this one. Sorry. I got it wrong. Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. Oh, it's not that one either, right? It couldn't be that hate speech either. No, maybe it was this one. Oh, got my Pelosi Halloween costume ready. Oh, no, it couldn't be that one either, right? Is it that one? Maybe? No. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what dumb fuck Dana Bash thinks it is. From Jamie Raskin. Yeah, what about when Joe Biden was hogtied? I didn't even get that one. When he retruthed that, what about that one? Maybe it was that one.
Yeah, and you have, as many of your fellow Democrats, have used some heated rhetoric against the president. And do you think twice about that when something like this happens?
What rhetoric do you have in mind?
Just talking about some of the fact that he, is terrible for this country and so on and so forth. I understand.
That's the rhetoric that's bad? That we're honest about the fact that he's not good for this country? It's so hateful. Oh. Sure, that incited violence. Sure it did.
Saying that that's your democratic right, but overall, do you
I have
have
no
a responsibility?
personal problem with Donald Trump at all. I mean, I talk about the policies of this administration, the authoritarianism like we saw in...
Right, Z-Spark, thank you. Like, Dems get asked this after decades, and the best example that Dana Bash could come up with was that he's bad for the country. That's the worst example that she could come up with from Democratic politicians, was that he's bad for the country. I just showed you where Donald Trump celebrated the death of two people, where his son posted about celebrating an attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. But Dems get asked this after decades of being called baby-eating demon rats. I get called a libtard every single day. I get called a whore, a skank, a cunt, a bitch. I get called a demon rat every single day on this app. Every single day. And the best that Dana Bash could come up with was that you said Donald Trump wasn't good for the country. Cry me a fucking river. You are soft as baby shit. You have always been soft as baby shit.
I don't think she'd survive anything on this app, especially if, being a woman on TikTok.
You guys have been claiming that we're the snowflakes. We're the snowflakes. You can't say anything. Now you're crying. Because we said that he's bad for the United States, that he hasn't done anything beneficial for the United States. You're weak. Keep crying.
Display in Minneapolis where two of our citizens were gunned down in the streets simply for exercising their First Amendment rights. Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and others have died in custody. I'm talking about...
No, Brian, I won't go away. I will be here because I'm not soft as baby shit. I can take it. It's fine. You can call me whatever you want. You're still here every day.
Policies. I don't personalize it, and I certainly have never called the press the enemy of the people. I think the press are the people's best friend, and that's why it's written right there into the First Amendment. We need the press to be a vigilant watchdog against every level of government, federal, state, local, all of it.
You're not going to get an argument from me on that. Before I let you go...
Still kicking. No, he didn't. Stop it. Oh, why do you do this? Get off of the screen. Okay. So that was Dana Bash. Now let's listen to Republican Representative Scott Perry cry about the same thing, because you guys are going to cry because words hurt, I guess. Except for when Donald Trump does it. Then words don't hurt very much.
And let's be clear about this. This is all born out of rhetoric from the left, the Democrat Party.
Steve, I actually do have kids. I have two. So baby shit is powerful. It's soft unless they have a hard turn, and then you should probably do something about that because their diet needs to be changed if that's the truth. But
and let's be clear about this. This is all born out of rhetoric from the left, the Democrat Party in particular, that calls President Trump a threat to democracy. They call him...
He is. He is a threat to democracy. He's trying to write an executive order about mail-in voting, which he's not allowed to do per the Constitution. He is absolutely a threat to democracy. Yes.
And the people around him, things like Nazis, people react to those kind of things. There's a consequence to that kind of rhetoric. And you see one side using it. You see one side.
Just one side. When the Republicans and Trump call black people low IQ, when they call all Somalians frauds, or Somalis, excuse me, I always want to do that. All Somalis pirates, when they call all immigrants animals and violent criminal rapists, you don't think that that has an effect? Maybe? Bald never said what? Never said what? He absolutely said that. I didn't make up anything. What would you like me to find, Bald? Specifically, what would you like me to find? I can find you a clip of him truthing it or saying it. Which one would you like? He literally, this past weekend, called Hakeem Jeffries and Candace Owens low IQ. He has called Michelle Obama low IQ. He has called Letitia James and Ketanji Brown Jackson low IQ. Who would you like? Who would you like me to find? He called Mexicans rapists when he went down the golden escalator. He has called them animals. He called the Iranians animals. What would you like me to find? They are low IQ. See, you're just racist. Congratulations.
Essentially in a hot war, and when they don't get their way, when they don't like things, they unfortunately, as they have done in the past, resort to violence.
And yet what's even more concerning, and you talk about the rhetoric coming out from your Democratic colleagues, they're not toning it down after that. Why is that?
Because they actually believe this.
Yeah, I do believe he is a threat to democracy. Yes, I do.
Look, I don't want to prescribe their motives or what's in their heart, but they're very serious about what they're trying to do to the United States of America. And let's be clear.
What are they trying to do to the United States of America? Is he still in the chat, Mia? Where is he? There he is. You can't sit with us. Can't sit with us. W Mia for the $7 on the Blue app for still kicking can't sit with us. You can't sit with us for a week. It sounds like. So W's to Mia, please, in the chat for that. Go off the screen. When I do it, you go off the screen. Okay. Let's go back to some of the 60 Minutes stuff. See if we can finish this at the top of the hour. So then O'Donnell's going to ask him if his relationship with the press has changed because of this. Because the press was all in the room when this happened.
Do you think this will change your relationship with the press?
Well, look, for whatever reason, we disagree on a lot of subjects. I mean, we talk about crime. I'm very strong on crime. It seems like the press isn't. It's not so much the press, it's the press plus the Democrats, because they're almost one and the same. It's like...
How? How are the press and the Democrats one and the same? Can anybody describe that to me? Democrats love terrorism. Can you describe that to me, Brad? I know, Adam, I know. The terrible things that the Democrats are trying to do. It's fucking free education and free healthcare. And even then, it's not free, right? It's universal. You know, it's just paid for because we have the money to pay for it. But sure.
The craziest thing. I have the strongest border we've ever had in the country, where, as you know, it said 0 people for 9 months came into our country through our southern border. We have a very tough border.
Do you think this will change?
There's a quick interruption, though. Remember, we started this with the Ballroom and how they are trying to urge them to drop the case. Well, thank you, Ari. Ari just sent me this. National Trust says it won't drop suit against Trump's $400 million White House ballroom after DOJ request. Preservationists are pressing ahead with their lawsuit against President Donald Trump's planned $400 million White House ballroom. Remember, it was $150 million, and then it was $200 million, then it was $300 million, and now it's $400 million. Declining a request by the Department of Justice to withdraw the complaint filing the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. Trump and other conservatives have made a renewed push for the ballroom in the wake of Saturday's media dinner shooting, arguing to expose the difficulties in ensuring presidential security at large events outside the White House grounds and urging the National Trust for Historic Preservation to drop its lawsuit. Top justice officials said the government would ask a court to dismiss the lawsuit in light of last night's extraordinary events if the trust did not voluntarily drop it. Trust attorney Gregory Craig declined that request, writing to the Justice Department that the legal issues at the heart of the lawsuit are unchanged. Quote, "What Saturday's awful event does not change is that the Constitution and multiple federal statutes require Congress to authorize construction of a ballroom on White House grounds, and that Congress has not done so," Craig wrote. Uh-oh, spaghetti. Didn't work out too well, did it? Okay. Back to this. I probably should have thrown him in there somewhere else, but we'll do it this way. It's fine. I'm sure we've all seen this clip of him crashing out, but we're going to watch it again. So O'Donnell, all that O'Donnell does, let's be clear, all that O'Donnell does is read a piece of the alleged shooter's manifesto. That's all that she does. And specifically in it, it starts out with administration officials. It does not declare anyone specifically. If anything, I actually think it specifically left Patel out. But it just says administration officials, and he loses his shit on it. Loses his shit. The words that we use, a hit dog will holler, if the boot fits, lace that bitch up and walk. Okay?
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, "Administration officials, they are targets." And he also wrote this, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would.
So the ballroom is supposedly privately funded and not being done by taxpayers. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. The issue is that the Congress still would need to approve any changes like that. That's the issue. But again, I'll go back.
Reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, "Administration officials, they are targets." And he also wrote this, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me.
That's my favorite part. Oh, you think he was referring to you? She's like, I was just fucking reading it, and then you flipped out. And also, yes, you are. Because sexual assault is also rape. And you definitely were found civilly liable of raping E. Jean Carroll. So yes, you absolutely are a rapist.
I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap?
Now that, maybe, that hasn't been adjudicated in court. There are plenty of accusations. Epstein files, anybody? Do we have the release of that somewhere? Thank you guys for hitting 50,000 likes. Let's keep tapping our way up. Hopefully we can get to 100,000 before I end today. Thank you guys.
From some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me.
Except that you were really, really close friends with Epstein, weren't you?
I was totally exonerated.
No, he wasn't. He's been saying this for months in regards to the Epstein files, that he was totally exonerated. No, he was not.
Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other.
Sure. Again, I will say this every single time. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, the names that we find that are Democrats, go get them. Todd Blanche came out specifically and said we are moving on. So why are we not investigating? Why are we not charging? Oh my gosh, where did that come from? Why are we not charging anybody on that side? Why aren't we doing that? Why is Todd Blanche trying to move on? Go get Bill Clinton. Go get Bill Gates. Go get them. I'm currently reading Nobody's Girl, which is the memoir by Virginia Giuffre. She took her life a year ago. She does not make any accusations against Trump herself. She says he was there at parties, but that she didn't have any interactions with him. She also talked about being on planes with Bill Clinton and knowing that he was on planes with Epstein. Again, she never accused Bill Clinton herself. But I agree. Go get them. Did I cover up for the people who... No, I didn't cover up for anybody. Until you give me actual factually based information that somebody murdered her, we're going to go with what was said about her, which is that she unalived herself, that she took her own life. Now, do I think that she would? I don't know. If you read her memoir, she had a very, 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 very tough life. From being a child where her father was assaulting her, to where he loaned her out to a friend to be assaulted and raped. She had a very, very tough life. All the information that we have, the factually based information that we have about her is that she took her own life. So I'm not going to spread conspiracy theory about something without any facts. But again, she did not accuse him, but he was in the orbit. Bill Clinton was in the orbit, but nobody's doing anything about it. They're trying to move on. The president of the United States is saying he was exonerated when he wasn't.
Things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I
these
was
are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me.
She's trying to keep him on track. She's like, I'm not accusing you of this. Again, I think you guys have a complete misunderstanding about the difference between like a political panel on CNN where they are touting their own opinions, right? Like an Abby Phillips and a Scott Jennings, where they're all touting their own opinions on something versus reporting. Most of the time what the news does is report. Yes, they do sometimes have panels, but most of the time they just report and ask questions. That's their job. They're a secondary source to the primary. What she is referencing is the primary source of the gunman's words. She's not accusing him. She is saying this is what the gunman said, and he took it personally.
Was never, excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes.
Why? That is the manifesto. That is factually based information that could lead to motive. This is absolutely, if you're the most transparent administration in history, stuff that needs to be read. Why shouldn't she read it?
You're a disgrace, but go ahead. Let's finish the interview.
The other thing that he wrote in
disgraceful.
Because she read the manifesto of the gunman? She's disgraceful? Because she read the manifesto. You guys, anything? Anything about that? Critique? Anything? No? You're just going to keep glazing his taint? Okay, cool. Let's get to some funnier things. Let's get to, he fell. He fucking fell. But he's going to claim he didn't fall. So let's get into that, and then we can reference the actual footage.
Just at that moment where it looks like you go sort of down with the service, you were telling them to wait?
Well, no, what happened is then I started walking with him. I started walking, and they said, please go down on the floor. So I went down, and First Lady went down also, but we were asked to go down by the agents as I was walking. In other words,
they wanted you almost to crawl
I was
out.
Standing up, pretty much. I was standing.
Silt, it's not giving credit to the gunman. It is trying to get in his head about where his motivation was. I'm not saying that he still was an unwell, sick individual who chose to do this. What they're saying is that they're reading the manifesto because it is his words. That's the thing.
Standing up and then turn around the opposite direction.
The ballroom is a big deal because he is getting private funds for it, where these people who are privately donating to him are getting benefit. It is bribery. From what we are seeing, they are absolutely getting benefit from their donations to him in the White House, which is a problem. But the other issue is, again, that you need congressional approval to do construction like this, in which he has not gotten. That is where the problem lies.
And started pretty much walking out, pretty tall, a little bent over because I'm not looking to be standing too tall, and but I was walking out. It was pretty about halfway there, and they said, please go down to the floor, please go down to the floor. So I dropped to the floor, so did the first.
Where's it at?
Just at that.
And there's a better angle of it too here. When he gets up from the table, does this look like they told him to get down? Because they didn't get down with him. He fucking fell.
There's the president.
He fell. Stop lying. The man's not in shape. He wears lifts in his shoes. He fell. Okay, I meant I should have played this with the ballroom segment, but I didn't. So we'll play it now. This is Mike Johnson, who's going to be advocating for the ballroom as well. This is now the new rhetoric. The new rhetoric is going to be ballroom, 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 ballroom.
On the opposite, they've incited violence, in my view. I mean, you have some of the most prominent figures in the House and the Senate on the Democrat side effectively, calling for war. I mean, they use those kinds of metaphors, and it incites violence because there are crazy people in society, and they get radicalized online. And so we've got to recognize that it's time to turn down the rhetoric. We've been saying this over and over, and not use that kind of language. I hope.
What language? What language? That he sucks? That he's a bad president? That he started a war we didn't need to in Iran, that he is defunding programs that help families, women, and children, that we're telling the truth. Oh, okay, that we're telling the truth.
That this will be a sobering reminder for everybody about that very important cause. I'm grateful to Fetterman. He's right. The ballroom will be a solution for this because it'll be on the most secure compound in the world. It won't have hotel rooms above it, and it'll have 7.
If he's spending his own money or money that's being donated to him, who cares if he's building a ballroom to beautify the White House? The problem is that apparently you did not listen to me, so I will repeat it again. Open your fucking ears. The problem is that he is not declaring this money to Congress. Congress is supposed to constitutionally have oversight about any big builds like this so that they can oversee the money that's going towards it. I wouldn't even care if it was privately funded, if there was oversight by Congress, specifically to ensure that this is not a quid pro quo, that they are not giving money to him and then getting something out of it legislatively or executive order or deregulation. Right? That's why. Also, he's not allowed to do that without congressional approval. He is not allowed to do that without congressional approval. I'm sorry that you hate the fucking Constitution. Read the Constitution.
7-inch thick glass, for example, on the windows, so it'll be a very safe environment.
Thank you, Mr. Goddamn, for the jewels.
To do events like this. We need a place. We have needed a place like that, and the president keeps pointing it out.
Then get congressional approval for it. That's fine. You need it. Okay. Then get congressional approval for it, and we'll be good. That should be easy, because you know what? You're in charge of Congress. Right? Should be fucking easy. Here's Peter Ducey on Fox. This one's a really short clip. It's just talking about discussions that they're going to have for the future.
That there are discussions underway at the White House about whether or not President Trump is going to have to start wearing a bulletproof vest for future events in public. Jackie.
Oh my God. The martyrdom. The poor thing. I didn't say that it was being grifted or bribed. I'm saying that, well, no, I am saying that. I am absolutely saying that because we are seeing the effects of it, is that corporations are getting all sorts of handouts and all sorts of contracts for doing this. We're absolutely seeing that. But again, if you had congressional oversight, we would absolutely be able to ensure that it's not that. You could come to me and say, look, we have congressional oversight and we can see where they did not get something out of donating. And you could tell me that I was wrong, that as a dumb lefty that I was wrong, and I would have no problem with that. I can absolutely concede when I'm wrong. No issue with that at all. Okay? Guys, it is 11 o'clock. We hit that 50,000 mark. We are at 51,000 likes. So let's make sure we are tapping. We're going to try to get to 75,000 likes at 11:30 Mountain Time. So the half hour mark. I would appreciate it if we could do that. Guys, I think I still have the little finger hearts. If we could get those accomplished, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it, guys. Don't forget that we are trying to light up my gift gallery. So anything you guys can do to light up my gift gallery for this week to try and get it accomplished, that would be wonderful. I would appreciate it. I have 65 left in my goal. So the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal are all in the link tree in my bio. If you would like to contribute, we can do a $1 train. We can do a $2 train to get that done today. I would appreciate it, guys. This is my job. And like I said at the start of this right now, we really are kind of living on this money until my husband's checks go through. We're having issues with that again. It's really not fucking fun. I hate it, but it is making it very, very difficult. If you guys are shopping for groceries right now, you know that buying even just 2 singular fucking meals is costing you upwards of like $60 fucking right now. It's ridiculous. So I would appreciate it if we could work on that. Okay. Moving on. Because the world doesn't stop. We didn't get a chance to get to this. The Department of Justice drops investigation into Fed Chair Powell, removing obstacle to Warsh. Again, I said that they want Warsh and they want Warsh bad. And they weren't going to get him unless this was done. So the Justice Department is closing its investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro said on Friday, removing an obstacle to the confirmation of Kevin Warsh, President Donald Trump's pick to lead the central bank. We did an entire thing about Warsh and his hearings. And his lack of impartiality. The move by Pirro, a Trump ally and the top federal prosecutor in Washington, D.C., for now ends an inquiry involving renovation costs for Fed buildings that had been rebuked by a federal judge and prompted a key Republican senator to block Trump's nominees to the central bank. So, Levitt says that the case is not dropped, though. Donald Trump says something similar. I don't have Donald Trump's clip, but I do have Levitt's. Even though it is. It absolutely is dropped. If it's not dropped, then Jeanine Pirro wouldn't have said that it was.
Go ahead.
Ending the probe
sure.
to Jerome Powell. Did the president sign off on that? What was his involvement? And why now after ratcheting up some of the rhetoric around?
I don't know how to say the last part of your name, who keeps complaining about the ballroom. You said it's amazing that you only care about congressional oversight when it comes to Trump, but not anything else, especially the Democrats. Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example? Sherry, thank you for lighting up the donut gift in the gift gallery. Newsom, what are you talking about? His own oversight committee that he hired himself. Can you give me proof of that? I would like to see the proof of that. Absolutely would love to see the proof of that. If I'm not, you're actually talking to the wrong motherfucking person. I am not a Gavin Newsom fan, and actually his eyeballs scare the fuck out of me. I don't know how many times I've talked about this. He has bird eyeballs. He looks like a fucking like eagle, and it terrifies me, and I hate it. I also am not a huge fan of him and his policies. So give me proof that he hired the oversight committee. What oversight committee? Why don't y'all care about our president being assassinated? He died? Said, why don't y'all care about our president being assassinated? How is this not a big deal? I literally just spent an hour on it. And last thing I knew, he didn't die. So he wasn't assassinated. Okay? Okay. Learn how to use words. Okay? Again, you're the same person who's supposed to be showing me where Newsom hired some sort of oversight committee himself.
Go ahead.
Ending the probe
sure.
to Jerome Powell. Did the president sign off on that? What was his involvement? And why now after ratcheting up some of the rhetoric around that earlier this week?
As you saw, Judge Jeanine Pirro, or former Judge Jeanine, U.S. Attorney Jeanine now, put out a statement saying that the case is not necessarily dropped. It's just being moved over to the Inspector General, who has...
Then it's dropped because the DOJ is going to be an entity for criminal charges. The Inspector General is not. The Inspector General can advise the DOJ on criminal charges. It is dropped. That's not how this works. If it is moving to the Inspector General, that is going to be an internal investigation where they then might advise on the need for charges. However, if there are no longer any charges, it is dropped.
critical tools at their disposal to continue to look into the financial mismanagement at the Fed. This has obviously been a priority for the president. If you drive by the Fed building, the president has a point. This is a project that's been going on for a...
Again, you won't give me an example. You keep saying, why is the only critique on Trump? Give me an example. I critique Democrats all the time.
Very long time. It's costing taxpayers billions of dollars, and I think it's in the best interest of the taxpayer to get to the bottom of it. So the investigation still continues. It's just under a different authority, and that's what you'll continue to see.
Correct. Not a criminal authority. So it was dropped. So stop lying. And then this last clip is just to be petty, because I loved this clip. This was a clip from a while ago. Donald Trump was with Powell, talking about renovations, right? And he starts lying about the cost of certain things that were, because there was a building that was like already built, and he was like talking about that cost as if it was not built when it already was. And I just love Powell's little sassy little bitch head shake at him. It's the funniest fucking thing to me.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I love him so much. He said, bitch, what? What'd you say?
Or a lot.
Wait, his little head shake.
It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2. This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
No, it wasn't. You added a building. You added the cost from a building already built 5 years ago. Which is why he looked at him like this. This is why Trump hates him. Trump, who appointed him, by the way, don't forget that he appointed Powell to this position in his first term. But Powell is like, no. Powell doesn't listen to Trump and just go, oh, okay, Mr. President. He goes, no, you're including a building that was already built. The fuck are we talking about? Like, it's one of my favorite fucking videos. He just like, yeah, he is mad because Biden kept him. It's like, it's one of my favorite videos where he's just like, no. And then he's like, what? He's absolutely the fuck not. What are you talking about? Love that. I do love that. Okay, where do I want to go next? This is all stuff that I had from last week that we didn't get to, which is funny. Maybe some Trump stuff. Let's get to some him talking stuff. So let's go to his truth last week about SCOTUS. He's mad. He's mad about SCOTUS, and he's terrified that they're going to overturn, or not overturn, excuse me, that they're going to, what do you call it? It's the word I'm looking for. They're going to uphold birthright citizenship and not listen to his complaint about it, that they're not going to strip birthright citizenship from this nation. He's very, very, very fucking worried about that. And so here's that truth from the 22nd. How can the Democrats not like how the U.S. Supreme Court votes? The Democrat justices stick together like glue. This is not true. There was a ruling just a couple weeks ago, specifically about conversion therapy in Colorado, and about the use of conversion therapy and how it would violate, the ban on it would violate the First Amendment. And actually, the only person who dissented was Ketanji Brown Jackson. Sotomayor and Kagan, who are the other liberal justices on the panel, actually voted with the conservative majority on that case. Ketanji Brown Jackson was the only one who didn't. And there have been multiple instances of this where the liberal justice is actually split. The reason he says this is, and lies about this, is because he is mad that the two people he appointed, Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh, or two of the people he appointed, Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh, have not always sided with him. They have on multiple things. But there are some cases, some rulings where they do not side with him because they're textualists. They're not conservative. They're not MAGA. They are textualists, and they read the text per the Constitution as it's supposed to be. Well, here's the thing, Lake, and I said this in regards to that case specifically. I understood it. It was based off of a First Amendment, and that's where the problem lies, is that you are... I'm not saying it's not harmful, but what I am saying is that per the First Amendment, you would have the right to go to that kind of therapy, to take your child to that kind of therapy. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying it's moral. I'm just saying that per the First Amendment, it does give you the right to be able to do that per your beliefs. Okay. So again, he lied. The liberal justices don't always stick together. That's not true. Never failing to wander from the warped and perverse policies, ideas, and cases put before them. Again, not true. They always vote as a group or block. Even that new, low IQ person, who said that he didn't say that? That somehow found her way to the bench, Sleepy Joe. Who did Sleepy Joe appoint? Was it Ketanji Brown Jackson? So who was telling me that he didn't call her low IQ? Who was lying to me about that? Okay. The Republican justices don't stick together. They give the Democrats win after win. Like a $159 billion pile of cash on a completely ridiculous tariff decision and nasty one-sided questions on the country-destroying subject of birthright citizenship, something which virtually no other country in the world is stupid enough to allow. Again, also not true. You can easily verify this and look this up yourself. You don't, but you can't. What are you talking about? I haven't seen your things. So he didn't hire his own oversight committee, but okay, so you lied. But what he did do is he installed his own people into the legislative committee that is responsible for the oversight of the spending. Prove that. How did he install the legislative committee? Are they not voted on? Is that not a committee that is voted on? If it's legislative, they are voted on the local level, correct? In the state of California, you voted for your state House representatives and your state Senate representatives. So how did he do that? Again. Try again. Okay. It was meant for the babies of slaves, not for the babies of Chinese billionaires. No, certain Republican justices have just gone weak, stupid, and bad, completely violating what they supposedly stood for, handing over $159 billion in tariff refunds to people who have been ripping off our country for years is unexplainable. One little sentence would have stopped this record-setting, yes, he said stopped, not stopped, this record-setting payment from having to be made. It is a travesty. Their tariff decision was an unnecessary and expensive slap in the face to the USA and a giant victory for its opponents. If they rule against our country on birthright citizenship, which they probably will, it will be even worse, if that's possible. It will cost America massive amounts of money, but more importantly, it will cost America its dignity. No, the radical left Democrats don't need to pack the court. It's already packed. President Donald J. Trump. So he's worried, and he should be. And here he is he was here on CNBC talking about it specifically as well. We'll play that.
Supreme Court could have helped us. Now they have birthright citizenship. They'll probably rule against us. No country in the world has it. It's horrible for our country. And I just see it, I see some of these Republicans that are nominated by me asking real bad questions. And looks like maybe we're going to lose that one too. Look what happened with NIL. They destroyed college sports, the court system, destroyed. So hard to put that one back, Humpty Dumpty, so hard to put that one back together. We had 150 years of rulings and everything.
I am asking you, I know you're talking to Convoluted, but I'm asking you again for proof that the legislative body that makes up the oversight committee was put together by him.
Else, and they had such a great system. It was a scholarship system. You get free college if you're
And then if you can prove that, you have to show me where they're not doing their job.
Good athlete, you get this, you get that. And it took care of every sport. Fencing, not only football. Now it's all football, and the football is bringing down colleges because they're losing. Did you see Penn State lost $500 million last year? Yeah, Florida State lost $450 million last year. They can't lose that kind of money. They don't make that kind of money. and the court system. A person that never had anything to do with sports, a very liberal-leaning Democrat, liberal, she decided that the sports system that was in place for 150 years is no good. She never went to a game before. It's no good. And she said it's unconstitutional. And unfortunately, NCAA...
I don't know what he's talking about. If anybody knows what he's talking about, if you could drop it in the Discord, what he's talking about specifically, I'm not sure about. I don't know of any cases. What I do know is that it has been a problem. The sports system, specifically in college, has been a problem for a long time because the college makes a shit ton of money off of the athletes that they have, but the athletes are not allowed to make money off of themselves, which is very interesting. But I don't know anything. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. To be fair, true. He also doesn't know what he's talking about. To be fair, that's true. So let's get into this reporting that Donald Trump was being kept out of DOD meetings. Which would be really bad if your own president is so incompetent he's being kept out of these meetings.
Forget incoherent rants about Sharpies in the middle of cabinet meetings or what seemed like narcoleptic episodes during those same meetings. Apparently, it's a whole lot more dangerous when the cameras are not looking. According to reporting from the Wall Street Journal, aides are now excluding the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, from do-or-die meetings about military operations. Specifically, the strategy session about how to exfiltrate 2 airmen after Iran shot down their fighter jet a couple weeks ago. The Journal reports the aides believed the president's impatience wouldn't be helpful and instead updated him at meaningful moments by phone, according to a senior administration official. MS now reached out to the White House for comment and has not received a response back. But again, this is in addition to everything that we can see for ourselves.
So why is he being kept out of the room when they were doing the rescue of the pilots? Shouldn't that worry you? I think it should worry you, but let's keep going. So Trump has been filming himself reading scripture. And I meant to get to this last week and we didn't. I want you to listen to this paraphrased ass scripture.
There shall not fail you as a man to be ruler in Israel. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I pluck them up from the roots out of my land which I have given them. And this house which I have sanctified for my name will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among nations. And this house which is high shall be...
Okay, so he's reading 2 Chronicles 7:11-22. It's not. I went to see if it is. It's not. I don't know what the fuck. No, he doesn't know what he's reading. So again, remember specifically the first part, because he just adds words that aren't.
There shall not fail you as a man to be ruler in Israel.
So let's read it together. Let's read the actual scripture together. 2 Chronicles 7:11-22. Okay? Because remember,
I love the Lord.
Read your book. Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord, and in his own house he prosperously effected. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command the locust to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now mine eyes shall be open and my ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. And as for thee, if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded thee, and shalt observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of thy kingdom according as I have covenanted with David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man to be ruler in Israel. That's not what he said, right? Because that's where we started. He really started at 18. There shall not fail thee a man to be ruler in Israel. He said, there shall not fail you a man. But if ye turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then I will pluck them up by the roots of my land, which I have given them, in this house which I have sanctified for my name, and will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations. And this house which is high shall be an astonishment to everyone that passeth by it, so that he shall say, Why hath the Lord done thus unto this land and unto this house? And it shall be answered, because they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, and laid hold on other gods, and worshipped them, and served them. Therefore hath he brought all this evil upon him. Did he say any of that? Because that was the most fucking paraphrased fucking shit I've ever heard as a former Baptist. But now you're talking about illegal immigration, and also the Google is a search engine, not a source. Sweetheart, try harder. Baby doll. It's okay. Try harder. It's really okay. Thus spoke the Lord. The Lord. Okay. Let's get to some more Trump lies. We loved some Trump lies. Because he's literally painting the concrete for the reflection pool, which is lovely. We do love that. I saw a tweet that was saying we're gonna have to like clean up his presidency, like cleaning up a fucking frat house. It would be better to burn it down and start over at that point, but here we are, and he's going to lie about his crowds. Take it easy on him, reading isn't his strong suit. Yeah. Especially when you're reading the Bible.
1.5 to 2 feet deep. You all know it well. That's where Martin Luther King gave his great...
Changing. I didn't. Changing says, why do you keep trying to kill Trump? I didn't do anything. I was not in D.C. I didn't do anything. So I didn't try anything. Okay? Let's be clear on that? Okay.
Speech, and he had 1 million people, and I had the same exact crowd, maybe a little bit more, but they said I had 25,000 people on July 4th. I have pictures of Martin Luther King's crowd, my crowd. It's the exact same, everything, but it was 70 years difference.
Oh, really? Let's do this. Can't believe we got to do this again. Almost 10 fucking years later. Let's get Martin Luther King's crowd in Washington, D.C. Let's open the image there. Okay. Donald Trump crowd inauguration 2017. Let's see. Oh, and we get a lovely comparison with Obama's too. I love that. We love that. Thank you, Time Magazine, for that. Okay. First off, hate that we have to do this. This was Martin Luther King's, okay? He spoke here, right? Okay. Or here. Maybe here. I'm not sure. These are all the people. Where's Sandwich? He didn't almost get shot, Ruben. He wasn't even in the same room. He wasn't even in the same room, Ruben. Bye, Sandwich. Bye, Sandwich. Bye, Sandwich. Okay. So, you didn't give a source. Where'd you give a source? Anybody who has Google. That's not a source. Google is a search engine, not a source. Okay, so this is Martin Luther King's. Now remember, he said he had bigger or the same as Martin Luther King. So this is Martin Luther King's crowd. Okay, let's go over here. This one, okay, that's Obama's. Okay. This one's Trump's. Was it the same or bigger than Martin Luther King's, or is he lying to you again? He has been lying his entire life, but specifically in your political life of you knowing him, 9 years. Almost 10 motherfucking years. I can't with you, Z-Spark. It's a wild thing to say. I'm not even gonna... Why do you let him lie to you? Why do you keep doing that? You have no brains.
The exact same crowd, but I actually had more people, but that's okay. They gave him 1 million people. They said 1 million people. I had 25,000 people. So, but these are the things that you get with. We had on July 4th, a few years ago, first term. So, you have this and a half.
What? Oh, I know it's a cult. I know it's a cult. It absolutely is. I'm aware. They're unwell. Okay. And then we're going to go to Donald Trump says no one should have a nuclear weapon, which I agree. I agree. Nobody should. You're right. No country should. So are we going to do anything about non-proliferation? I don't know what he's talking about with July 4th X. I have no fucking clue. Guys, it is 11:30 and we have not reached 75,000 likes over here on TikTok. If we could do that, that would be wonderful. Start getting those taps going, please. And we have 30 minutes left until I am done today, and there are 6.5 still left of my goal. Can we get that down, please? Dollar Train, $2 Train. Let's start working on that and get that down. I would appreciate it very, very much. I hate having to do it. I hate having to beg, but I will. This is how a bitch makes money. This is how a bitch pays bills. So if we could please do the good things, I would appreciate it. I would really like to hit 100,000 likes at least today, if we can't do the goal. I get it. It's Monday, just the start of the week, but I would appreciate it. And yes, I know on YouTube you can't like tap. It's not the same as TikTok. So as long as you hit that thumbs up button, we're good to go. I appreciate that.
Sir, would you use a nuclear weapon against Iran? You posted on Truth Social a few weeks ago.
We don't need it. Why do I need it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked? Why would I use a nuclear weapon when we've...
I don't know. Maybe because you threatened that a whole civilization will die tonight. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why people are just, asking questions.
Totally in a very convincing...
I'm unwilling to do your homework for you. If you have proof that Gavin Newsom put in the legislative body to become the oversight committee and that they are committing fraud or not doing their job as an oversight committee, you have already made the guilty determination. You have already, in your mind, you believe it. What you're telling me by you crying for the last 10 to 15 minutes about Google as your source when that is a fucking search engine, all you're doing is convincing me that you never looked it up. You just believe it. I don't think you've read about shit. I think you just don't like Gavin Newsom, same, but that you've never looked anything up about it, you just believe it. The fact that you don't have a source ready to go means to me you've never searched it, ever. I am unwilling to do your fucking homework. You believe it, you prove it. If it's such a fact, prove it.
...intentional way decimated them without it. No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
Sir, would you use a nuclear...
Cool. Then let's put in legislation to get rid of all nuclear arms. How about that? How about that, Donald Trump? And with that, let's do it. Like, I'm not doing your fucking homework. And now you're sitting here and saying, why does it matter that Governor Newsom is stealing money from us? Prove that he's stealing money from us. Prove it. You see how you've made a determination of guilt without any proof? Prove that he's stealing money from us. Jesus Christ, it's your positive claim. Fucking prove it. That's all I'm asking for. I have no problem conceding to that. I said how shady it is that Ilhan Omar is now claiming that her financial disclosure went from millions to tens of thousands. And I want that investigated. I'm not saying she's guilty of anything. I'm saying I want it investigated. Why? Because that's how you do it. Okay? Okay. Speaking of, you guys thinking that something is true without having any kind of fucking investigation into it, without any kind of guilty verdict. Let's go back to this. This was Donald Trump's truth. I don't know where he's trying to correlate the two, which is very interesting. That was my whole point with this truth, though. The Southern Poverty Law Center, one of the greatest political scams in American history, has been charged with fraud. True, they've been charged with fraud. We went through the entire 14 pages last week. The entire 14-page indictment we went through last week. They're being charged with fraud. Not proven yet. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Yeah, 49, Illinois, and Donald Trump.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, I'm a different kind of case because at first, in 2016, I didn't support him.
Okay.
You know, I really believe he was, a whole bunch of shit. Liberals been screaming. And then 2 years after that, I was like, well, hold on. And then I was like, and then it was about policies. And then the second run around, Trump didn't win. But after the Biden administration, it was like, I don't even care about policies anymore. I care about who's the lesser of two evils. And with the Democrats just inciting violence, calling for insurrections, like make them pay, take to the streets.
What does take to the streets mean?
Take to the streets, gather a crowd, punch them in the face.
Oh,
like
who
riot
said that? No, who said that?
People,
No. Who said
Democrat.
riot? Who said riot? Who said punch them in the face? Take to the streets is just protesting per your First Amendment right to do so, right? Your freedom of assembly.
You're like, for instance, you just mentioned Ilhan Omar, right? You just mentioned her. You wanted an investigation. You're not saying she's guilty. You just want an investigation because that's how it's done.
Yeah.
How many liberals were screaming that about Trump?
Multiple. What do you mean?
Yeah. All of you were screaming he's a rapist. And
He is. No. He was found civilly liable of sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll. That's a fact.
Defamation.
Defamation.
Right. And then that's
What
why
did the judge? I agree. She originally filed for defamation. What did the judge say she had to prove to do the defamation case?
I don't know. His lawyer. That's why his lawyer got fired because his lawyer took that plea.
The judge
while
said
he wasn't in the court
judge
case.
said in order for you to go forth with the case for defamation, you also need to prove that the sexual assault happened. So he was found civilly liable of sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll and of defaming her.
Okay. Now, what happened when she went on the record and said he never raped her?
When did she say
that? See, now that judge is practicing
when did she say that?
Law from the bench.
When did she say that?
It's in her dockets. Look it up.
Where?
It's in her docket.
What page? Give me a page. I'm not doing your homework for you.
I forgot what page it was, but it's there.
No,
well,
it's
anyways,
not. No, it's not. Then we're not going to talk about it. No, then we're not going to talk about it.
See, how are we ever going to meet a middle ground?
Proof.
How are we the
you don't
people
have
ever
proof.
going to? I don't have proof. What's your proof that he did it?
The 9-count jury that said he did.
Oh, the 9-count liberal Democratic jury.
Who else gets to pick a jury? Who else gets to pick a jury? Who else gets to pick a jury? Who else gets to pick a jury?
If you're right.
Who else gets to pick a jury?
Hey, both sides do. But in this case, it wasn't like that.
Did you know that 2 of the people on that jury actually were Trump supporters? One of them specifically said that she gets her news off of Truth Social. Did you know that?
Yeah, I don't really care about all that.
So then it wasn't a liberal jury. No. So then it wasn't a liberal jury. Right? Stop saying that.
It was.
If she gets her news, if she is a Trump voter who gets her news off of Newsmax and Truth Social, is she a liberal?
I don't know, but
okay, that's what I thought.
The appeals court, he's in
when you're in a cult, when you're in a cult, you will pretzel yourself to do anything to glaze his taint and not actually pay attention to what happened in that case.
So why ain't you doing what you're doing right now with Trump? Why ain't you doing that with Ilhan Omar?
I am.
Because that's how it's done,
I
right?
covered Ilhan Omar on Friday.
Yeah, but you're like railroading Trump. You're like slandering the man.
Trump was found civilly liable. He was adjudicated in court. The court already happened. If and when a jury comes out and convicts Ilhan Omar of fraud, I will do the exact fucking same thing.
Actually, it didn't happen that way. His lawyer took a plea when he wasn't in the courtroom, and that's why he fired his lawyer. He fired his lawyer over taking that plea.
Oh my God, no, he didn't take a plea. He was found civilly liable. It was not a plea deal in that case. Because you know why? Because he appealed it. No,
you better go look back in your records.
No, because he appealed it. Because he appealed it twice. And they denied his appeals for that case. No,
it's still in the United States Supreme Court case because the
feds, if they choose not to take it.
Denied his appeal.
The
federal court denied his appeal. It's in the United States Supreme Court right now as an appeal.
Did they choose to take it? Did they choose to take up that case?
Yeah, they're taking it.
Did they?
Of course they're taking it. They're taking it. Yeah, it's
They
in
have not.
litigation
No, they
right now.
haven't. They have not taken up that case.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It's in there.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's in
That's the
there.
problem. That's all you guys have.
No, that's all you guys have
No,
since 2015 when he went down the escalator.
All we have.
Is
What do
just
you mean?
slandering a man.
No, I am telling you the truth is that a jury of his peers, 9 people, 2 Trump supporters on that jury, found him civilly liable of sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll. You don't like that is not my problem.
And you don't like that she said he never raped her.
Show me that
So
proof.
now you got a judge.
Again, you need to show me that proof. Show me that proof. I want to see it. Show me that proof.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Go ahead
I'm gonna
and find
fucking Google. Let me grab my other phone.
it.
I'll do it, and I'll do it on a Google thing, so when it talks back to me, you can hear it if it says it, because sometimes it don't do that. But hold on. Did E. Jean Carroll go on the record and say Trump never raped her?
Not him using his Google AI voice. That's crazy.
Based on the provided search results, E. Jean Carroll, 2019. Hold on, there's a whole bunch of shit. 2019, 2023.
Give me the article where she said he never raped her.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Mm-hmm. Cass, I don't have it set up where he can hear you. See what happens when you say things without actually looking them up? This is the grunting of frustration, Chicky, when you don't look up the things that you believe.
I just got done working out right now, so I'm kind of winding down before I take off.
Which O of the Google page are you on?
Oh
now?
yeah, right here. It was October 2022 deposition that Trump falsely claimed that E. Jean Carroll what was it? Love being sexually assaulted. Hold on.
Nope. Where'd she
I'm
say?
skimming through
That's
this.
not what you're supposed to be finding for me, though, right? You're supposed to be finding that she said he never raped her, right? Right? Is that what you're supposed to be
because
finding?
I remember her on an interview when she was at her cottage or her thing when she had her colored rocks and all that shit and by her river, and she said that shit. So I don't think it was in a court case.
Go ahead and find it.
All right, hold on. Or she said it was sexy as fuck. I forgot what happened because this is a while back.
That is something different. Hold on. That's something different. See, this is how I know you've never looked at anything. That was an Anderson Cooper interview on CNN. And again, your claim was that she said Trump never raped her. She never said that. What she said is that society sees rape as sexy, which is true because we absolutely fucking fantasize it in TV shows all of the time. But that's not what you said. You said that E. Jean Carroll said Trump never raped her.
Absolutely fucking fantasize it in TV.
I don't know, but
regardless,
I know
you're not gonna post this segment on your YouTube, are you? That didn't go too well for you, did it?
No, I don't really even care about that because there's like thousands of people in the Epstein files, and you guys are focused on Trump.
I agree. I agree with you. However, what you're going to do first, we can totally talk about how the fact that the Epstein files were something that nobody gave a fuck about for decades, and that's a problem, and that we need to go after both Democrats and Republicans about that. I absolutely would love to talk to you about that. But first, you're going to concede that E. Jean Carroll never said that.
No, she never said it, but she never said it, but that's fine. He's still, to me, the lesser of two evils. That's why I said I'm a special case with him.
I don't care about that. No,
to me,
I don't care about that, because then that would be policy. That would be policy about his lesser of two evils. How was he the lesser?
Okay, but you still, but rape is still rape. Hey, defamation and liable for some shit when he's not in the courtroom.
He was liable for sexual assault. The reason they could not say rape is because she did not know if it was his penis or his finger. Would you count being forcefully penetrated as rape? Because I would. Is there a difference between sexual assault and rape?
Well, to me, they're both the same.
Oh, okay.
You assault somebody, you rape somebody. To me, it's the same shit.
I agree. So he was found civilly liable of sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll because she did not know if it was his penis or his finger, but she was forcefully penetrated against her consent, against her will. Right.
I don't know. I forgot where I fucking seen that at, unless it was
it didn't happen.
Something else outside of that. Like you said, it might have been that fucking interview or something.
It might have been, you're right. It might have been the Anderson Cooper interview. But that's not her. What she was talking about. You were wrong. She did not say Trump never raped her. What she was talking about is that society finds grape sexy. Go away. Thank you, Jedi, for the swan.
Stop looking at me, swan.
Don't come to me with shit you've never read about. You see? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Mr. Google is a source, not a search engine. Where'd you go? You see? This is what happens when you don't research, when you just believe shit. I didn't say that, I never said civil liability is the same as criminal. We know why it's not criminal, because it was past the point that it could be. Capitalism got you. Call back another day. The difference is that there was an investigation. The difference is that there were facts provided. The difference is that a jury adjudicated his liability. Right? Jedi, I get with you. I don't even listen. I just swan. I grab him by the back, swan him. When you're a star, you can do anything. Right. Okay. Again, all of this will go in the outline as part of the outline. If you have not read the verdict form, if you have not read the case, we can talk about it. Okay. Speaking of things that you find guilt in before even getting any information, but before we get to that, W's to Peter for the $5 on the green app. For Monty, you're one of my absolute favorites. Thank you, Peter. I always appreciate you coming in and doing the taps. I see you, and I see you tapping, and I see you when you say hello, and I appreciate you being here almost every day when you can to support. So W's to Peter for the $5. And then we also have W's to Diane for the $10 for keep up the good fight, sister. 72 and proud of you. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. I am not going to let, especially when it comes to things like E. Jean Carroll, we are not going to discuss it with misinformation. Absolutely the fuck not. You will say it correctly, and you will say the facts, and you will concede when you're fucking wrong, or we won't move on, and we will sit here until we die. That's just the way I run things. I refuse to let you move on. So thanks. So W's, thank you. W's Peter, W Diane, I appreciate you. Guys, we have $50 left in my goal with about 10 minutes left to go and 92,000 likes. I know that you guys can do it. You guys can make it to 100,000 likes today. So let's make sure we're doing that because I know you can. I believe in you, tappers. We can do it today. Okay. So again, he is making the assumption because they are charged with fraud. It doesn't mean that they have been convicted of fraud yet. I want to see the case go through. Again, I read the 14-page indictment. It does not look like a strong case. I have listened to Cass cover it, Law cover it, Attorney Dye cover it. I literally listened to Attorney Dye cover the indictment yesterday. I don't think they have a strong case at all. So this is another Democrat hoax along with Act Blue and many others. If it is true, okay, remember, we're talking about Southern Poverty Law Center. If it is true, the 2020 presidential election should be permanently wiped from the books and be of no further force or effect. What the fuck does the Southern Poverty Law Center's case have to do with 2020 election? Anybody? Anybody? In New York, rape does not have statute limitations in criminal. Are you kidding? Let's look. Oh, what is the statute of limitations for sexual assault in New York? That's for civil filings, because that was changed. Where? Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
My age is 41. My state is North Carolina. And I voted for Kamala Harris.
Okay. Why'd you call in today?
I wanted you to tell me more about the Bilderberg Group.
Why?
I did a little bit of research on them, and I wanted to know your thoughts on them.
I don't have thoughts on them. I use it as a dog whistle to catch the Nazis.
Do you have hatred in your heart for Donald Trump?
Yes, absolutely. He has harmed a lot of people that I know, and he is. And why do you care? Didn't you vote for Harris?
I was trying to help you get the hatred out of your heart by allowing love to come into it.
I have plenty of love and plenty of support from this community, but I can also still hold hatred for this man who is destroying this country. So it's fine. Thanks, though. I'm good. I have plenty of love and support. I'm good. W, you guys, for hitting that 100,000 likes. Jeez. Wow. Fucking W's to you. I'm so fucking proud of you. Thank you guys so much for hitting 100,000. That is a fucking fantastic way to start the week. Thank you. Yeah, also I love the Lord. So if you have the Lord on your side, you can do no wrong. He's... Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so.
Oh, I went a different route.
Where did you go?
I was thinking all the time. It said, "It's your blood," that one, "in our lungs."
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Pour out our praise. I regret. I regret.
So people are saying that the statute of limitations changed after hers had run out. So, I guess they didn't go retroactive. I'll look more into that. I have no problem doing that, looking more into that when I get off today. But it's specifically for criminal filings, not for civil filings. I know civil filings, it changed. Because everybody likes to claim that they changed it for E. Jean Carroll. They did not. It was changed because of the Catholic Church. But that was civil, not criminal. Hi, Blue.
Hello. Yes, the New York criminal statute of limitations for sexual assault is 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And they extended the civil ability to 20 years under that Survivors Act. And that was, again, like you said, not for her. It was for the Boy Scouts and the Catholic Church.
Right. So there is a statute of limitations on criminal. Okay. So they were wrong. We want to admit that you're wrong in the YouTube chat, as per usual. Shocker. I still want to understand how he's conflating the SPLC to the 2020 election. Like, if the charges against the SPLC are found to be true, how that then correlates to the 2020 election needs to be wiped off the map forever. I'm like, how do those two things correlate?
Just anything that'll he just throws stuff together.
Those two things don't even go together. So then, in that same vein, they have been sharing around, this is the last thing I'll probably play today. It's like a minute 52, so it might take a little longer because, a minute 52. It's like football time here. When we play a minute clip, it turns into like 7-8 minutes Tom Brady time. So this was a CBS Evening News story on the Southern Poverty Law Center, specifically. And the right is sharing it around as if to say that this is proof that they did do this. But But even the clip in and of itself talks about the fact that this indictment is basically a fucking joke. Like this is a organization that literally in the indictment on the first or second page talks about the fact that they do what is called takedowns, and so they advertise and advocate that they do takedowns, so their donors know what they are donating to. Again, the whole point was that they were defrauding their donors somehow, when in all reality, I'm not seeing any evidence of that. So, yeah, and 3 years is ridiculously short, Donovan. 3 years to criminally go to court against somebody who assaulted you is insane to me. But, patriarchy. So this is the CBS on the Southern Poverty Law Center.
40 years ago, the Southern Poverty Law Center bankrupted the Klan and later recovered millions from neo-Nazi groups, with lawsuits representing victims of violence. But Tuesday, the tables turned. The Justice Department charged the organization with fraud for allegedly misleading donors and lying to financial institutions by paying members of violent extremist groups millions of dollars to act as informants.
The SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred.
Including, the indictment alleges, a leader of the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, who, quote, attended the event at the direction of SPLC, made racist postings under the supervision of the SPLC, and helped coordinate transportation to the event for several attendees. But Law Center interim president Brian Fair said the group had long used informants and called the indictment a political attack by the Trump administration.
They have made no secret of who they want to protect and who they want to destroy.
You have to wonder if this...
Attorney Scott Frederickson questioned the Justice Department's legal theories.
Can the federal government persuade a jury that the Southern Poverty Law Center was out there funding extremism for its own purposes? Manufacturing racism? That's hard to believe. Obviously, they'll have their day in court.
But there have been calls to investigate the Law Center for years. In 1995, the Montgomery Advertiser was the finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for articles alleging that the center was misleading donors and wasting their money. And more recently, critics say that its hate watch list of extremists includes many mainstream conservatives. Tony?
Or maybe mainstream conservatives are also radical right fucking terrorists. Maybe. Maybe it's both. Again, I just don't see, the more I look at the indictment, the more I go over the indictment, I'm not seeing how the fuck they're getting what they're getting.
Yeah, they are attacking anything that they consider left-leaning, anything that they consider anything that's against them.
Yep.
Which, if they just stop being racist and criminals, maybe there won't be so many entities against them.
It's wild. Okay. We'll get into the rest of this tomorrow, probably. I still had stuff on immigration, Nutlick, some fraud stuff. And I did eventually want to play a couple snippets of the Jenna Bush interviews with the presidents just to see, just some nostalgia times. Again, yeah, also Jedi. Moreover, how does that invalidate 2020? I don't understand how, even if the SPLC was defrauding donors, how that has anything to do with the 2020 election at all. Oh, May is back. Democratic Party has literally become domestic terrorists. How? Go to the New York Senate website. Sure, I'll do that, truck. So we're going to New York Penal Code 130.35. Sure. New York Penal Code. Rape in the first degree. That's right there. Where is the... Okay, that doesn't tell me... That doesn't tell me statute of limitations. New York State Senate.gov. Where's the limitations though? Here, I brought it up. This is the site you wanted. New York State Senate 130.35, rape in the first degree. Where does this tell me the statute of limitations? I have no problem looking stuff up when you give it to me. So truck, you were the one saying that there is no statute of limitations. Where is that on this page? I'm waiting. Like most laws, the statutes are on a different page. Right. Let's see. Does New York Penal Code 130.35 have statute of limitations? No, under New York law, there's no statute of limitations for rape in the first degree. So let's read again this law, though, because what is required? Okay. He or she engages in vaginal sexual contact with another person by forcible compulsion or... Okay, they didn't charge him with this. Historical revision as of 9/6/224. What is... Let's see. It's against children. What are we talking about here? May, you don't explain anything, you just cry. So, maybe start there. Let's see.
Right. I think that's where they're getting mixed up is, and I will say that I misspoke as well,
Sure.
saying when I said rape has no, I said sexual assault.
You said sexual assault.
Never mind. I said sexual assault.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, rape has no time limit according to their statute of limitations, but sexual assault does.
And to be clear, though, let's remember, I don't have any problem with that. Her case was defamation. That's what she filed. Her case, I agree, Truck. I agree. I was wrong, Truck. I agree. Rape, and this rape in the first degree, has no limitation. She was accusing him of defamation, and then the judge said you also need to file for the sexual assault. But that was not in criminal court, that was in civil court. Would you like her to accuse him in criminal court after he's not president anymore? Second degree and third degree got extended to 20 years in 2019. This says Emmy.
Yeah, it was the sexual assault that that was being accused because it didn't meet the criteria for rape at that time because she didn't know, as you said, she didn't know whether it was his member or his finger.
Correct. And again, she was just filing for defamation because of what he said about her. If she wanted to bring it in criminal court, she can do it if she wants to, but she won't. Maybe after he's president, she will. But again, she filed for defamation. The judge was the one who said, well, because you're filing for defamation saying that he sexually assaulted you, you need to prove the sexual assault.
Right.
She can't remember. No, she didn't know what it was, Jedi. She just knows she was penetrated because she was pushed against the wall. He was behind her. So she was pushed up against a wall. He was behind her. She was penetrated by something. She does not know what it was. Truck says we all know that's bullshit. Okay, cool. See, you don't care about the law, Truck. You just care about glazing Trump's taint. Okay? Okay. Glad we got there. Let's see, I messaged her, but I don't know if I got anything.
She said she's pulling up tabs right now.
Oh, so you're not going live, is Mia going live?
Yeah, I told Mia to go for the afternoon to try to get her prompt out there and get her YouTube going.
Yeah. I know I followed her on there. I just don't know that I have her saved. For redirect, I can still redirect her, though. I just think I have to type it.
I got you. I'll send you her name.
Once she's all set and ready, we can absolutely do that. I didn't say I don't care about the law. You said you don't care. You said we all know that's bullshit. What's bullshit, Truck? What is bullshit? Just be consistent. That's all I'm asking you to do. Yeah, well, in civil cases. I know that was the big thing with the civil case, is the law under the civil case at the time, which is why if you read, which is what I had, if you read the verdict form, right, where it says, did Mr. Trump rape Miss Carroll? It says no. And then it says, did he sexually abuse Miss Carroll? Yes. And the reason for that is because the civil law at the time did differentiate between penis penetration and finger penetration. That law was changed after this case, which is why he got mad and tried to sue. When the judge, when Stephanopoulos reported that the judge said he raped her, because the judge did say that, because the judge was talking about at the sentencing for the money, the monetary amount, the judge said that yes, he raped her because the law had changed, and under the current law, it would have been rape. So, no, Jedi, I know. Oh, is somebody coming after you guys? That's friendly fire. Jedi is a friendly. Jedi was just asking. Jedi's not defending him. Guys, hold off. You guys, chill.
All right, I sent it to you.
Jedi was just asking. Thank you, babe. There are some people who don't know this case. That's okay. May, I'm not... Okay, I'll play it. I will play it. What did Eli send me? Because May is saying you're still trying to assassinate presidents.
I didn't do fucking shit.
I didn't do shit. I was at home. In my house. I didn't do anything. Okay, so there's that one.
Do we even have the actual like political affiliation of the most recent?
I don't think so. I don't think.
But
what is...
but the previous ones we know were conservatives.
Yeah, they were, but conservatives.
I don't know why they want to argue their political.
Let's see, because I know NBC did a whole
registered Republicans.
Yeah, NBC did a whole article about him, but I don't think it had his affiliation. Like I said, his age, where he lives, okay, what he was armed with that we know about, his writings, his borderline genius, I guess people called him. I don't know what the fuck. He won Teacher of the Month. I don't think we have his voter affiliation. He donated $25 to Act Blue, with the memo earmarked for Harris for president, according to Federal Election Commission filings. But that's not his. And even then, my thing is, it doesn't matter. I don't care what their right. affiliation is. That person was crazy for bringing guns to an event and trying to shoot people. The fuck?
We don't condone it one way or the other.
No.
Regardless of which party he was part of, we didn't condone the two prior attempts.
No.
Even though they were registered Republicans, we still don't condone it. Y'all are the ones who want to play this team sports.
Let's see. Did Mia go live yet?
Yep.
Okay, she's live?
Yep.
Okay. I don't see her on my TikTok. Was she just doing YouTube?
I don't know if she's gonna do. I'm trying. She doesn't pay attention to her chat.
To be fair, I don't know that she has more than one window for that.
I don't know either.
Okay, there she is. Now she's showing up. Okay. So let me get my thank yous out and we'll go over there and raid. I'm gonna drop you both down. Babe, will you write her TikTok name and pin it so we can do that?
Yeah, I'm Babe Blue.
He knows I wasn't talking to him.
Right.
He knows I love him, but I don't call him Babe. Okay.
Sorry, Blue.
Okay, so let me get my thank yous out before we go. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Block Daddy. And thank you, Mia, and thank you, Diane, and thank you, Sparky. Thank you guys so much for your support today. That got us halfway down our goal. I appreciate that. We love that. So thank you guys so much. It means a lot. So over here on TikTok, we are going to go raid Mia. She put it up there, Maniacal Mia. We're going to go raid Mia. So make sure you guys do all of the good things that you do for me. Make sure we're tapping. You guys hit over 100,000 likes. So I damn sure know we can hit some tap goals for Mia. So go over there, do your heart me, share it out, tap, do all of the good things for Mia, our lovely, lovely friend. Over there on Twitch, I can't send you over there. She doesn't do Twitch as far as I know. So if you would like to come over to TikTok for Maniacal Mia, you can. Or if you would like to go over to YouTube, I will redirect them over here to YouTube for Mia. So thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you on Tuesday. And we will be back to more of the regular news. Again, I've got stuff on immigration, Iran. Again, this stuff is not going away, so we'll keep covering it. And you guys can keep apologizing for rapists. That's cool. You do you. But that ain't going to be me. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Excuse me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Okay. So, Twitchy. Goodbye. All right. YouTube, let's get you moved over here. See if we can do this. Since I don't have her. I should actually, because I follow her now. So she should show up, I think. No? Okay. Well, we'll type her in. Oh, she's gonna have to fix her settings. Shoot. Hold on. Hold on, we're gonna go in here. So what I'm gonna do is, cause she's not gonna be able to do it now. So I'm gonna write her name in here, maybe, so you guys can go to her. Okay. It's Maniacal Mia with 2 A's. So go over there. I have to get her to fix her redirect settings. She doesn't have her redirect settings on, so we're going to go over there, though. Maniacal Mia. So you can go yell at her, I guess,